Hey everyone, welcome to today's Storytime Explainer. We've got a really beautiful tale lined up for you today, one that holds a super powerful lesson for all of us, but especially for the younger listeners out there. We're going to be unpacking the story of a stubborn little baby elephant. So he lived in this forest far, far away with his whole elephant family. And well, he was the youngest of the bunch, but he was also the most wonderfully stubborn and, let's be honest, kinda naughty little elephant you'd ever meet.
Now, I want to ask all the kids tuning in right now, and hey, even the parents too. Have you ever looked around and just wished you were someone else? Have you ever felt, just a little bit bored being exactly who you are? Well, our baby elephant felt exactly like that. One day, his parents called out, "Darling, where are you? Come on, we're going for a walk." But instead of getting all excited like his brothers and sisters, he stubbornly dug his heels in and told his parents, nope, he didn't want to go. He completely refused to join the family walk.
Section 1. The Bored Baby Elephant. A Grumpy Mood. Okay, let's dive right into this. So the baby elephant was in a truly grumpy mode. His parents were a bit surprised, but they were patient. They just said, "Alrighty then, as you wish. Don't move from here. We'll be back before dark." And just like that, his family left him all alone for the day. At first, he just played by himself, but very quickly, that grumpy mood grew. The more bored he got, the madder he got. He was so frustrated with doing the exact same things all the time that he literally threw his little trunk in the air and declared, "Being an elephant is so boring." In his naughty stubbornness, he decided that it was actually a bad thing to be an elephant. He didn't want his trunk, he didn't want those big floppy ears, and he definitely didn't want to go on any more boring elephant walks. He wanted something completely different.
Section 2. Trying new animal tricks, copying other animals.
This totally shifted his mindset for the day. He started thinking, well, if I don't want to be an elephant anymore, what else could I be? And this kicks off a very long, very exhausting day for our little friend. Over the course of a single day, he decides to try being 4 entirely different animals. In the morning, a gazelle. By noon, he's trying to hang with the monkeys. In the afternoon, a tiny squirrel. And by the evening, he's actually trying to take to the skies like a parrot. Let's see how this all builds up. First up, the gazelle. He sees this gazelle jumping and hopping around, looking incredibly fast and agile. And he thinks, yeah, I should be a gazelle. But here's the thing. Gazelles are built for fast, agile leaping. Elephants? Well, they have big, lumpy, very heavy feet. So when the baby elephant tried to hop like the gazelle, his huge feet just got completely tangled up. He tripped and fell headfirst right onto the ground. Ouch! And of course, it really hurt. He pretty quickly realized it is definitely not fun being a gazelle when you're built like an elephant. So, dusting himself off, he moves deeper into the forest and finds some monkeys just having the absolute time of their lives, jumping from branch to branch. Here's exactly how his disastrous attempt to be a monkey went down. Step 1. He yells out, "Hey monkeys, look at me, I'm a monkey too, play with me." Step 2. The monkeys stare at him, climb down, and completely surround him. One starts pulling his ear, another literally hangs on his trunk. And step 3, the grand finale. One of the monkeys drops a heavy coconut right on his head. Bam! It hurt so much he couldn't even run away at first. He finally had to wave his trunk around just to shoo them off and escape. So yeah, definitely not a successful monkey. By the afternoon, he spots a cute little squirrel munching on a chestnut and ducking into a tiny burrow in a tree trunk. Aha! Because he's small, he can get in and out of everywhere, the elephant thought. I should be a squirrel. But think about it. A squirrel is tiny and fits into little holes. Our elephant has a giant, heavy head. When he couldn't climb the tree, he poked his trunk inside, which totally scared the poor squirrel away. Then he stubbornly tried to force his big head into the burrow and got completely, painfully stuck. It took all of his strength just to yank his head free. Panting, he said to himself, "I'm just not fit to be a squirrel. The trees are way too small." Finally, evening rolls around. He's far from home now. Suddenly, he meets a beautiful parrot, gliding effortlessly from tree to tree. The baby elephant practically begs the parrot to teach him how to fly. So they go to a high cliff, right next to a big lake. The parrot jumps and glides beautifully through the air. The baby elephant takes a deep breath and bravely jumps right after him. But elephants do not have wings. He fell from thin air, plop, right into the freezing lake. He barely managed to drag himself out to the shore, absolutely covered in thick mud, his entire body aching in pain. Section 3. A very important rescue. A sudden emergency. The parrot flew down next to him, and offered some pretty wise advice. He said, you really should just stay being an elephant, my friend. And it's right at this exact moment that the tone of our story completely shifts. Because suddenly, right above them, a tiny baby bird loses its balance, falls straight out of its nest on the cliff, and drops down into the deep water of the lake. The mother bird was instantly in a total panic. She flew down, hovering frantically over the water where her baby had disappeared, crying out, "Help! Somebody help! Save my baby! Help!" You could literally feel the sheer terror in her voice. The fun and games of the day were instantly over. This wasn't about being bored anymore. This was a real-life emergency. Our baby elephant, he didn't even hesitate. He marched straight into that deep water. He couldn't see the bird, so he plunged his long, heavy trunk deep under the surface. He searched, and within seconds, he felt the tiny little bird. He gently wrapped his trunk around her and safely lifted her right out of the water, completely unharmed. And this brilliantly illustrates something amazing. The very thing he thought was so boring earlier that day, his long elephant trunk, became the exact, perfect superpower needed to save a life. Section 4, the beauty of being you, feeling truly worthy. The mother bird rushed over crying happy tears. "Thank God you were here," she told him. "If it weren't for you, she would have drowned." When she thanked him, this incredible, immense, warm happiness just washed right over him. For the first time all day, after all the bumps, the bruises, and the coconuts to the head, he finally felt truly worthy. He had this beautiful realization. If I weren't an elephant, I couldn't save this baby bird. His mindset completely flipped. That grumpy attitude, poof, vanished. He realized, you know what? I think I'm meant to stay as an elephant. He finally recognized that the very traits he was trying so hard to run away from were actually his greatest gifts. And that brings us to a very big, absolutely crucial word for today's explainer: self-acceptance. Self-acceptance simply means loving who you are and knowing that your unique traits are actually your superpowers. As it started getting dark, our baby elephant began the long walk home. On the way, he passed the parrot, the squirrel, the monkey, and the gazelle. But you know what? He didn't want to be them anymore, not even a little bit. All he wanted to do was run home to his family, show them his true self, and maybe apologize for his silly stubbornness earlier. So what's the crucial point here? What did our stubborn little elephant learn, and what can we take away from this? Well, first, it is absolutely okay to be different from the monkeys or the birds. We're not supposed to be the same. Second, everyone has their own special skills. I mean, sure, gazelles are incredibly fast, but elephants are strong and kind and helpful. And finally, you're perfect exactly as you are. Your unique traits are exactly what make you so amazing. Which leaves us with one final very important question to wrap up our explainer today. I really want you to think about this. What is your special superpower? Kids, I want you to talk to your parents about this one. Are you a really great listener? Are you super strong? Are you a fantastic friend who always helps out? Whatever it is, remember our baby elephant. Be so proud of exactly who you are because there is literally no one else in the whole world quite like you. Thank you so much for joining me for this story today. And hey, keep exploring those superpowers.